let's just jump right into this. Andrew Tate.
You were the most Googled man on earth.
So what are you charged with? I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually.
So in this video I want to talk about this weird obsession that a lot of conservative commentators seem to have with Andrew Tate, and why I think that it's actually pretty disgusting and hypocritical. So for everyone who doesn't know who Andrew Tate is, he's an influencer who gives advice on masculinity and openly expresses a lot of misogynistic views. He's been accused of rape by several women and is currently under investigation for rape and human trafficking. Oh yeah, he also stated that he moved to Romania specifically because over there he would get away with stuff and because of corruption.
People say, why did you live in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're a rapist. I say, no, I'm not a fucking rapist. But I like the idea of being able to just say to do what I want. I like living in countries where corruption is accessible for everybody. So in Romania, where I happen to live, it's...
Now this guy has recently given several interviews to conservative media, and what bothers me so much about that is not that they gave him a platform, but how non-critical these interviews were. Now keep in mind, this guy admitted to tricking women into doing sex work. He openly described his loverboy method, which he uses to manipulate women.
I was all about trying to get paid. Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense. Like I was not trying to have sex with women. I was trying to get women to obey me. And I realized that's easier if they like to have sex with me. If they don't like having sex with me, it's pretty hard.
I think I'll call my PhD program. And that is, PhD is a pimp and hose degree.
Clever.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them.
He's literally been kicked off of a TV show because of a video in which he was beating a woman with a belt. So in these interviews, Tate was allowed to spin the accusations in his favor, and neither Tucker Carlson nor Candace Owens have challenged his narrative. And that's what bothered me. And you know, a lot of conservatives are very critical of sex work and prostitution, but somehow in this case they don't care, and honestly I don't get it. You know, the same people who emphasize the importance of family and respect in a relationship, and who often talk about how over-sexualized and degenerate Hollywood has become, these same people promote this really creepy and disgusting dude. Because, you know, even if the rape and the trafficking accusations are dropped or turn out to be false, I think Tate is, at the very least, a messed up creep. He's a predator.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Turn me on. Planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out? Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ, I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
Imagine some guy in your neighborhood manipulating young women into becoming webcam girls. Or imagine someone on the political left doing such a thing. There would be an outrage, and justifiably so. But no, for some reason, many conservative media figures have decided to support this guy. Candace Owens has been very critical of the porn industry in the past, and yet she's sitting here in an interview with a literal pimp who boasted about pimping out women. And to me, it seemed like she's almost kissing up to this guy throughout the whole interview. The same goes for Tucker Carlson. I mean, how can you talk about social values and then turn around and go so easy on this guy during the interview? I understand that the left has really gone off the rails with a lot of the gender stuff and blaming men for everything bad in the world.
Culture, which is part of patriarchy. Part of patriarchy. I'm reading fuckface of patriarchy.
But that doesn't mean that the other extreme is any better.
Filming this during the COVID pandemic. You may be watching this later on, but right now during the pandemic, I also have an OnlyFans business. For the last 2 to 3 years, I've been making money on OnlyFans from its inception all the way up till now. And the reason I started this course is because a lot of people have been asking me, Tate, how do you get girls to work for you on OnlyFans? Why would a girl work for you and not decide to do it by themselves? First things first, the reason...
To be fair, some of what Andrew Tate says might actually be correct and is good advice, but a lot of what he does seems really reprehensible. This is someone who systematically uses other people for his own profit. And I do think that his popularity is a result of the dark side of social media culture, where the loudest and most outrageous often get the most attention. In a way, he's almost like a conservative version of Jeffrey Marsh, who's this like super woke and also super creepy trans TikTok guy who gets a lot of support from liberal media outlets.
I want to talk to the kids. Hi, I don't have a uterus. I did a brand deal for tampons.
And I don't think that supporting this guy is a good idea either. Both extremes are unhealthy, and I don't think they're very good for young people. And the way that some conservatives are propping up Andrew Tate is nothing but identity politics. It's just identity politics from the conservative side. My message to these media people is, don't just promote the next best weirdo just because he slightly aligns with your political beliefs and the other side doesn't like him. Because let's face it, society needs good role models for young people, especially young men. So put in a little bit of effort. If you like this video, please like, subscribe or comment.